Hey, I'm Ken.
And I'm Leanne.
And this is Journeys with Ken and Leanne. Today we want to talk about picking a contractor.
Yes, very, very important first step. Absolutely, probably the most important decision that you make in your build. It's a process, or we made it a process. Yeah. So you.
Well, I want to make it absolutely clear. Do not go with one contractor. You need to at least get 2 or 3 so you can get a little bit of I guess a little sampling of what it is. You go to the wrong guy right away and you're going to get screwed. I guarantee it.
Right.
You know?
So we talked to a few different contractors and we found out some were willing to do some work, others weren't. And
that's right. We had we actually went and talked to about 4 contractors. So the first one, we won't say who it was. Love him to death, but he implied that we couldn't afford him, so we didn't. So we went on to the next one.
Nope, couldn't afford that one. never got the price, but
yeah,
but that was okay because
yeah.
You know, when those doors close, another one opens, and I'm pleased with where we ended up. We also spoke with contractors that never got back to us and didn't get us prices.
All I heard as we were talking about starting this project was everyone was too busy and there was a 6-month or a 2-year wait to get on a contractor's list, and so we finally did. We got a hold of 2 more contractors and discussed with one. He would not give me a written quote to save my life. He just gave me a verbal quote, but with that, with that quote, he kept telling us that he wanted us to cut the driveway and he wanted us to clear the land and set it all up, and all they were going to do is come in and build the house on it. Well, that wasn't what we were planning on doing. So
right. And in our process, we had already picked out our house plans. Now, contractors do have plans. I didn't think about contractors having plans, but we had already purchased our plans. We knew the house that we wanted, and so we provided those plans to our final 2 in our selection, a copy of the plans, and that way they could give us an accurate quote. They could see what we wanted to build, and of course, as you've already seen in earlier videos, we chose Rick Kirby Construction, and I will tell you that even before getting a price, this contractor took the time to sit down with us. We went through everything that we wanted. I like dream world, what do you want? We went through everything with him.
And then he came back with a dozen more questions on whether we wanted this or that.
Right. And he also quoted out options. We would like to go ahead and build the pool with the construction of the house, but price that out separately, because we knew where we wanted to be on the cost of construction and what we wanted our payments to be, so we can get it paid for in a few years. And and he was wonderful with that. And I'm going to tell you, if your contractor doesn't care about your financial goals, he's not going to be the guy for you. So, but Rick and his guys have been really, really great.
Well, let's step back a minute. We're talking about picking a contractor,
right?
Okay? One thing you need to do is, your community is a great resource. And what Leanne and I did is we went out to a lot of people and we asked, do you know of any contractors that would be able to build a house? And we got a dozen names. And then we went out and researched their reviews if we could, and if not, we asked people that had used them. We had I guess about 8 or 9 contractors on our list at one time. We live in a very small community, so word gets around about people everywhere. So we're asking everybody questions about this person or that person, and you often in our small community hear stuff about somebody's personal life, and that helps guide you whether you think this person's going to be a good fit for the job or not.
Right.
So
yeah.
At the time, not that they're not a good contractor, but your personal lives will dictate on how you react to something, you know.
Right.
I've been through times in my life where, I've got my wood turning and things happen in my life and I just don't want to do my wood turning anymore. So
I kick him out of the house. But
since I've met you, it's all I've wanted to do is be out in my building turning wood, baby.
not since you met me, but since we started the build, right?
Yeah.
No, seriously, making sure that the timing and all the pieces of the puzzle fit, and if it doesn't feel right or it's not going smoothly and falling into place, step away from it. Choose a different avenue.
Yeah,
And
word of mouth in a smaller community is make or break for our business. So, and Rick, absolutely, I not a bad word. Everybody highly recommended him, and
well, he's a very talented man. You'll see at the end of this video, he's a very talented man.
He is. Now, with Rick and Lisa, since we've already chosen them, we'll come to Rick and say, hey, we're looking to do this. And, he's a quiet guy, very reserved. He really can't. He doesn't wear his
Unless you're
feelings
talking about guns.
Yeah. But he doesn't wear his feelings on his shirt. So, but if you sit there and look at him, you can tell whether you're asking a stupid question or not. Because he'll go, well.
Well, but I don't think he thinks anything that we're asking is stupid.
Okay, I misspoke.
Right, yeah.
Stupid. Okay,
but,
let's just say not the thing to do. We'll come to him
Right.
and we'll say, we want to do this. What do you think? He'll be like, well, that's one way to go. And then
But
he'll
I
tell us how
wouldn't.
he would do it.
Right.
And normally we'll go with what he says.
Well, because he reasons it and he discusses it. If we don't get any of that, I'm not going to do that, or no, you don't want to do that.
Yeah, well, he says, he
literally-
goes, well, this is your house. We'll do it the way you want.
Right.
But
But they also refer to it as our forever home, which is great, and they understand that that's what they're building, is the place that we want to spend the rest of our lives, and they want it to be what we want it to be.
he doesn't have a problem when we change something. Like we changed over there in the dining room to a what do you call it? A Dutch door?
Dutch door.
I call it a Mr. Ed door. So
We're not
we
going to
changed
have a
that.
horse in the house.
A horse is a horse, of course. Anyways, we changed that, and he was like, "Hey, that's a great idea." And we took the walkway from the garage to the house. And Leanne, you'll see in the video earlier, she widened that out. It's like 20 million foot long now.
I might get big one.
You better not.
I'm almost 5 foot tall. The chances of me getting big enough to cover 8 feet would be.
Yeah. I'll roll you in the house. Don't worry about it.
But they do discuss options with us, and the other great thing about it is that from day one of meeting with Rick and Lisa was here's where we want to be with the budget for this house.
There's some things you need to consider when you're looking for a contractor. Don't just go out and take the first one that you see. I mean, it's silly to me.
Right, and having someone that you can have those discussions with. Ken and I discuss everything, even if it's for the shop, and I may not be able to weigh in well, but I can let him bounce his ideas off of me and discuss those. And that's what we found in this contractor, someone that we can talk about our ideas. He can give us from his experience, his thoughts, and then he lets us make that decision. It's not I quoted this and this is how I'm doing it.
Okay. Yep,
So.
exactly. Now, with a contractor and a loan company, the loan company has to approve the builder. Like Ag South had to approve Rick. Rick has done work with them in the past, so he was an approved contractor. We didn't know that until we talked to him.
Right.
But so all he had to do was fill out the paperwork and the contract paperwork saying how much each thing would do, and they did all the rest. So it was a match made in Holly Hill.
That is true. And also, as you're talking to your lender, if you haven't chosen your contractor when you're talking to your lender, ask them about that reputation. Ask them how easy that builder is to work with, and that will give you some insight. When your mortgage company or your lender is running into issues with your contractor or your subcontractors, if you know subcontractors, ask them the reputation of that contractor. If the contractor doesn't pay their subcontractors in a timely manner, something for you to consider. because all of that's going to ripple down and start affecting you and your build if you've got subcontractors that are not showing up for the job or they're not getting paid for a job.
Hey, we had a list longer than our list to look at. We had a list longer not to look at, and that was all
Right.
from word of mouth. People who've used people and had issues with them,
Or businesses that
subcontractors,
had
or
dealt with them.
yeah,
Yeah.
businesses that have dealt with them. So
Right. Or that we're still trying to deal with them. So I would also say, as you're talking about contractors, plans are not inexpensive. So if you loan a set of plans out to the contractor to get a price, make sure you're going to get those plans back. Figure out how to get those plans back. We've got a set of plans out there. You know, they're probably $200 to $300 for a copy, and love to have that back so that we would have that clean set of plans for some of the other subs that are coming in. Maybe we'll get them back. We're hoping.
hopefully.
So.
All right. Well, if this is your first time here, I'd love for you to go on down and hit the subscribe button, hit the bell so you know when stuff's coming out, and
Be sure to follow us on Facebook and Instagram, Journeys with Ken and Leanne. Those descriptions, those links are in the description. And, you know, send us your questions. We've gotten several by messages, and we've gotten several by comments. If we don't know, we'll tell you we don't know, but we'll certainly be happy to share in more detail what some of the experiences we've
absolutely.
had.
Hit us up on Facebook if you have any questions and you don't want to post them in the questions or comments below.
I wish somebody else had done this before us, so we could be. Hope it helps.
Well, we're glad you stopped by, and as always, we hope you enjoyed the journey.
Again.